I'm hosting my Route 31 location up in Syracuse, helping my mom with some things. So I don't pad or setup, but got the new laptop for travel, and hopefully you can hear. This works out pretty well. So, surprise! It's Thursday. There's a truck race tonight. There's a truck race on Friday and Saturday, which is pretty cool about Bristol. So, if you didn't know, then hopefully you saw this video in the feed, and it reminds you that there's DFS tonight for NASCAR. So Corey Heim's been dominating everything recently, and he won the last race, so that's why he's in blue there. If you look at this is the second race in the first round of the playoffs. So they race, and then the next week's the elimination race. So there's a little bit of pressure here, but not a ton yet because even at the cutoff line, it's only about I think Chandler Smith is -7 and Honeycutt's like -2, where Kruth is like +2, and I think Jake Garcia is +3 or something like that. So right now Smith and Honeycutt are below the cut line of the next eight that advance to the next round, and Garcia and Kruth are like right there. So it's really close. Majeski is about I think like 17 or so, or somewhere in the teens or low 20s. So safe for now, but if he has a really bad race and wrecks, then could, have to do a lot of work next week to advance. Hemrick, Riggs, Enfinger, and Ankrum are like 20, 30, 40 points to the good. So they should be able to, if they should be able to race, for the win and take some chances and stuff and not have to sit out there and go for like points in my opinion. I mean, they could play it safe and try to survive in advance. I don't know, but I think they're more apt to go out there with their cushion and try to win race, especially if one of the bottom four struggle or get in a wreck early. Then that just opens up the floodgates to go out there and compete and not have to worry as much about points. Although, the points do accumulate and carry on to next round. So, I mean, that should be helpful too. And as usual, the Cremas probably will rise to the top again. This isn't the qualifying order. They will go out there and practice and qualify this afternoon. The race is at 8 p.m. So on the FSI site, if you subscribe, I'll have the final sheet for you probably 7:30 once I get Major League Baseball. And NFL football, which I'm going to try to do a video for that tonight for Thursday Night Football. We'll have that all covered. So if you want to play everything today, and including like soccer, it's only $6. So it's really cheap. $5 for the whole weekend coverage for everything. Go to the description of the video, and a link to our websites there. But also to our Discord, you can get into the NASCAR pool room for free. I won't give you all the content, but I will give you probably at least the updated primes and things like that. So, anyways, speculation. I used the Bristol race that they did in the spring pretty heavily in this, but also looked at other short track and current form. So that's why time's up front. Garcia usually qualifies pretty good here. I think he's going to be an upside dominator. He finished seventh after starting fifth in the spring race. Hemrick has run pretty good here also. Would it surprise me if he could go out and win this? No. He had the pole last time, but ended up finishing 13th. So I had a little bit of trouble there. Riggs started ninth and finished sixth here. I have him fourth. He might be second like last week. Like he's pretty good here. That's why he's got the second highest price tag, and I think he could be a dominator also. Speaking of dominators, if we look back at the last race, there's two dominators here. Like somehow barely Curry led 14 laps, but pretty much the rest was like Hemrick had 8, Kruth had 85, Heim had 16, and Chandler Smith was the primary dominator with 127 laps led. So I figured with 250 laps here, it's probably going to be about two dominator race with some others sprinkled in there. Majeski, an upside dominator, he did not fare very well here. He only made it 52 laps before he had some issues and was out of the race. He started eighth and finished 33rd. So he's got to do a little bit better here, especially being close to the bubble. And I'm going to consider him an upside dominator. Honey kind of knew a GPP on him just because he is below the cut line. He's in great equipment here in this taking over for Stuart Friesen. He's run well, and he wasn't bad. He started 22nd and got up to eighth. So I think the upside is definitely there, but his price tag has jumped up to 9,200. So we'll have to see how he practices and qualifies. But I think he's just going to be a GPP play, and I like him. I will definitely have some exposure, but I think you really need to. It's going to be hard if you're trying to get Hyman to get him in unless you're going like a balanced build. And I think that's a great GPP strategy. Chandler Smith, the dominator here too. I'm definitely going to pay attention after his win here last time. And I think even though he's below the cut line, he's somebody that you really want to look at that could go out here and try to win this race and not really worry about points because I think like the margin is so slim that I think next week, if they want to point their way in, they potentially could. They've got the equipment and the driver to do that. Ruth, solid cash play here. Love the price tag. I think he's the second lowest one that's still in the playoffs, like price wise. Led some laps here and has run well on these tracks. So I think solid cash play, but it'd be a more balanced build probably because I don't think you're getting guys in the 8,000. If you're trying to play a couple guys up top here, you're going to have to go pretty much below that. Uh, Giovanni, oh no, sorry, skipped over Enfinger. Enfinger solid, also cash play. He started 24th and made his way up to 12th, so some good place differential there, but I don't think he'll be starting that deep in the field this time. We'll see what happens. But definitely, if he does, the upside's there. If he starts ninth, where I have him finishing fifth, there's a little upside there too. I got to come back at 5x, and you could potentially lead some laps here too. Giovanni, how did he do? I'm going to see him here. Maybe he wasn't in this race. Oh no, there he is. They call him Geo. Uh, Started 14th, finished 10th. So definitely, I've got him like 10th here. It's got him finishing 11th. I think is solid cash play in the 7,400, and I think that might be the range that you might need if you're trying to get time and some other expensive driver in. I don't know if we'll be able to get in the 7,000 range with Heim and Riggs unless you're doing a bunch of punts to get Geo in there. But we'll have to see again how things shake out after practice and qualifying. Ankrum is the final playoff driver here in 11th. I think he's a solid cash play also. 95 is like somewhere in the middle to pair with the Corey Heim. And if he does start like down here where he hasn't qualified necessarily as well, I mean, he's qualified second last time here, but there's been a couple races where he's been down a little bit and he gets a little bit place differential and ends up in the top 10 or top five, then that's a really good play for you. Cruz, I'm going to put in as the 20K driver here. I know I have him finishing 21st. I think that's a little harsh just based on some starts. But if you take out some like bad luck data there, pretty solid play for GPP with upside. Again, I don't think many people are going to get into the 7K range. If they're trying to play like Riggs and Heim or Chandler Smith and Heim, you'd have to build more like with the Ankrum and Finger Kruth and Heim to get around here. So I think the ownership's going to be kind of low in there, and I like the upside. Mosaic has had some struggles around here. I got him finishing 22nd. See where he finished last time out here. He started 25th, finished 24th. So if he's starting this far forward, then he's going to be GPP to a fade. Rhodes didn't make the playoffs, but they're still racing. But are they racing out there like to get information for Majeski and Garcia, like we see in the Cup race, where they give them similar setups to another truck, and he is out there just kind of as a guinea pig. So they'll make a change on him first, see if it makes the truck better, and if it does, then they'll do it on the ones that are in the championship. I don't know. Are they racing for data for next year for other tracks? Like, or is he just going out there and just trying to win the race? So anything is possible. I'm going to give him the cash tag, but I just wanted you to kind of remember that he was a top 5 truck last time, finished 5th, started 6th, so definitely in play. Corey Day, really good driver in a truck here. Again, there's really not out there to do anything than try to win races, and it's a fast truck and a decent driver, and definitely has some upside in the price in the 7K range. Again, I don't think it's going to be super popular, especially the high 7K range. If people are trying to get a couple studs in, not going to see as much ownership, which is it's a great leverage play. Uh, ADAPDL here. Andres Perez de Lara. A good driver, 6,500. I like the price tag. I think this is where we're going to. People might look at him and be like, oh, he started in the top 10, he finished 19th, and he has qualified a little bit high and finished a little bit lower, but he's had some decent, solid races. So I think, again, he's a 20K driver, and he might turn into a cash driver for me too at 6,500. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But definitely one that I would like in the GPP. And if I can't make it work in the GPP, then I think he might be a safer cash play also if the ownership looks like it's going to be up there. That's don't want like high ownership in the 20K. I want to have some pivots that are low to medium. Tanner Gray, unless he qualifies really, really well up in the top five, because we saw him do that and kind of fall back in races. But if he qualifies somewhere in the teens and definitely has upside to get like the 15th to 10th, then I think that that's a solid play. Curry, like I said, he led some laps last time, and it has him starting 18th, finishing 18th. He started 20th, finished at 23rd. So that's pretty close to the range. And I think if you're looking for somebody in the lower 7K range with a great cash fill-in, then he's the guy. So as you look at the board, there's four primes. And no, I did not make a mistake. And this is why you watch the video and just don't go like watch the first 5 seconds of it and see what the chart is and then just start plugging things in because you got to get the context sometimes. So here's what I did. You're not going to be able to play LaJoie and Klingerman as primes if you have Heim and you want another driver up there. So the prime builds with Heim are going to be Crafton and Parsons. And then that can help you maybe get like a Majeski, a Chandler Smith. I don't know if you're going to get Lane Riggs in there, but it's going to help facilitate getting a second stud or playoff driver, somebody starting up there that could be a dominator in your lineup. If you want to go more balanced and still get Heim and then take these 85 ones, and then you're going to kind of be playing the place differential because you think that Heim's going to go out there and he's got the pole. His truck looks so much faster than everybody else in practice that he's just going to go out there and completely run away with this race, and it's going to be a boring sleeper like the Cup race was at the Southern 500 where Briscoe went out there and pretty much led flag to flag. Then you want to go with the place differential build. And if you've got two solid drivers down here who usually qualify in the 20s, but have upside to get into the top 10, top 15, then in this medium range where nobody else is going to go because they're going to pay for another dominator who's not going to get dominator points and not going to pay off his salary because Corey Heim is going to suck up everything. If you think that's the way the race is going, then LaJoie and Klingerman are the prime plays that you want to play with Heim. So I'm saying I don't want necessarily without everything, but this is seeing everything, but in a speculation video. And I don't like putting dominators as a prime play, but in this case, I think you need to do it that way or have two cash builds. If Corey Heim goes out there and gets a pole, if Corey Hyman doesn't go out there and doesn't get the ball, he's going to be a prime play because he's probably going to get the place differential and get up there and lead anyways. But if you think that he's going to completely dominate the race, then you really probably don't want to pay up for somebody else. You want to get place differential ones for the 8K guys that nobody else is going to get if they play a second dom that's up in the high 9, 10K range. Or if you and then you'd go more balanced. So you'd play Crafton and Parsons in there, and you could probably throw Parsons in the other build too. It'd be Heim, like LaJoie, Klingerman, and Parsons probably, and then you just have to fill in with like whatever place differential value place you could find. Sutton might be one at 6,300. I know we kind of skipped over him there, talking about the prime plays. Uh, Start and finish around the 20s. Definitely what you kind of need. Start 16th, finish 17th. If that happens again, it'd be absolutely perfect at 6,300. Jack Woods had a really good race here, started 19th, finished 11th. If he does that again, and I think it might make him really, really popular, solid cash play. Matt Mills started 15th, finished 20th. Even though he lost 5 place differential points at 6,200, that's a good outcome for you in cash to have some floor. So I'm okay with that. Connor Jones, he's been all over the place, like 25th, finished 25th, but he's more expensive than Mills, more expensive than Sutton, more expensive than Woods. I like the talent there, but I just haven't seen the results on tracks like this. So it's going to be a GPP play because there's cheaper plays I like better. Parsons has been solid all season, and I have him almost at like 5x. I think he's the third highest projected X value for point per dollar. So again, I want to see how he does in practice and qualifying, but it should be one that should be decent with foreplay um, in a cash game. So Maggio, GPP, again, he kind of finishes towards the back. I think with all some of the other trucks here that aren't as good, he's going to be starting a little bit too far forward for where I feel he has a comfortable floor. Um, see who's next. Cole Butcher. Uh, he is in this Stuart Friesen truck, the 62, and he has had a ton of success outside of NASCAR on short tracks and some solid finishes in fields with like 30 some cars finishing winning one race and finishing top 5 top 10 quite consistently. So I believe that there's some underlying talent here. I don't think Stuart Friesen would go out and put him in one of his trucks and field another truck here unless he believed that this driver could go out there and get some solid results. So based on the limit data, my model doesn't like absolutely love him, but at 5,700, watch him in practice and qualifying. He could be a very good option for a sneaky dart that people don't know the name and just kind of glance over it and don't click on it. And if he does go and out there and like say he finishes like 13th and 15 place differential points at 5,700, that's probably going to end up in optimal. So I keep a close eye on how he does there. Greenfield's a fade. This truck could finish dead last or second to last. Not really super impressed with the driver or the upside there. Boyd's and Rayum are GPPs. Brenninger might become a cash play. She has done so much better recently, and in this race in the spring, she started 28th, finished 25th. I mean that's good, and we've seen better progress with her recently. So I think at 5,200, she might have enough floor to be a cash play. We'll have to see how practice and qualifying goes. Going back to Maggio, he's in Frankie Muniz's truck because Frankie fell off the ladder trying to change the battery in his security camera and broke his wrist. So it's kind of sad that his rookie season might be over because of that. Hopefully he gets healed and maybe can come back and get some more experience, and we'll see like how year 2 goes for him. But that's why he's not in the field if you're like kind of wondering. The rest of the ones down here, Costner, Norm Benning, Clayton Green, and Greg Van Alts, like, I don't think they're going to be able to stay on the lead lap. They're probably going to find themselves multiple laps down, mechanical issues, not really good drivers. I just don't think that if you're punting down here, it's dangerous. Like Reum is probably the lowest I would go, like salary wise when it came to punts. Brenninger would probably be like where I would legitimately cut myself off. Uh, and then, like I said, Butcher, I kind of like as the upside here, but like if you're trying to stack dominators up top here and trying to get Hyman and trying to get rigs in, and you end up down in this range, it could be very, very dangerous. I can understand the upside of like having all those drivers and going stars and scrubs, but you need some attrition or like darn near miracle where like the middle of the field gets in like a major wreck and can't continue, and it just pushes up all these bottom feeders. But I just don't think that is probably an outcome that's really realistic. So that's what I got for you. I don't know if I'll get to an Xfinity video tomorrow, just with my work schedule. I gotta travel back down from Syracuse down to work and then work a full day, and then I'll probably be able just to get content out right before lock. So again, if I don't get the video out, then go to the description of the video here and go to the FSI DFS website, click on the Discord, join there, join the free NASCAR pool room. And when I don't get videos out, I usually throw the sheet in there probably like 15, 20 minutes before lock once I've taken care of all the paying customers. So, and if you want the full package on everything for the weekend, like I said, FSI DFS, go to the subscriptions. NASCAR is $5. If you want to play everything today, including getting the NFL game and MLB content and everything, then you can do that going to paying for the VIP package for a day for $6. So thanks for watching. Good luck in your contests. I'll definitely have a cup video for you. And look for NFL also this weekend. So hope this starts your weekend off well, and I'll see you next time.